Hi YouTube, welcome to the Emporium Outdoors. My name is Michael and today we have Esme, my dog, and we're going to do some camping in a pretty unusual type of tent. So this trip sees us back in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, and we're going to try and travel a road that I couldn't get through on my last trip. So the snow is too bad. And we do still have snow, but I think the roads are going to be passable. I think if anything, we're going to have problems with mud. So I hate getting things muddy because I hate cleaning it up afterwards, but I think it's going to be worth it just to see how that trail's opened up since I was last here. So without further ado, let's get packed up and heading down the trail. Well, this is as far as we got last time, but as you can see, the snow has melted down quite a bit. Still, it's pretty solid in places. So that's the way we'll be heading. What a glorious day. I really love this time of year. It's just warm in the daytime, cold at night. No bugs, no insects. It's just wonderful. Go see, Ez. Go see what's over there. Come on, up. Mucky. Okay, let's keep going. Well, I think we found a really good spot. It's nice and sheltered up on the tops. It's actually quite windy, and we're completely isolated from anyone else, which is perfect. And we have lots of trees, which is going to be important for our camping setup. What do you think, Ez? Oh, and the other thing, there's no mud, which is another big bonus. Just need to find 2 trees that are nice distance apart. Okay, so I think we're going to string it up between those 2 trees right there. This one, the one behind. I haven't set up this tent before, so it's new to me. There is a reason why I tend not to test tents before I get out in the bush or I go on my camping trips, is I want to see how simple they are. I obviously check all the contents is there, but I tend not to put them up because I want you to see what it's really like to put them up rather than a well-practiced person trying to sell you a product. So we'll see whether it works out or not. So I'm going to start with setting up the hammock. I think that's how it's done, but we'll find out together. So this is a OneTigris ROCDOMUS hammock shelter stroke awning. It's a multi-function style tent and it's a hot tent, so I can put a stove in it. So I haven't used it before, not sure how it sets up. However, there are handy dandy instructions right at the top. We'll come back to those. Okay, so I don't like the way the top line's going up. I don't think it's going to work. It looks pretty crappy actually. So I'm going to use my top line for my other hammock, my Superfly top, and we'll take it from there. Needs a bit of adjustment. So okay, so we're at now. I flipped the top so that the stovepipes on this side only has one. So I want it here. And I've got my top line I've taken off. This is something I made quite a while ago, and it's just some Dyneema cord and some easy loops, so I can string it up real quick. And we are testing out the new axe I picked up from Cabela's on my recent trip. This is the CRKT Freyr. So I think we got most of it up. One thing I do notice, it doesn't have any snow skirts. I think any tent really that you're selling for winter camping probably not going to survive, or it's not going to be the best solution in very cold temperatures. You can bank snow across the bottom, but it's an extra step. It's nice to have the snow skirts already built in. But it's big. What do you think? Okay, so amount of pegs. I've used all 14. It's not enough, so you may have to bring more pegs, but I'm just going to make some up. I can actually tie it off to the tree in the back, so let me show you how far we've got so far, and we'll take the first look inside together. Let's take a look at it. So I only have 2 tie outs on this side. On the other side I have the 3, I think. I could pitch it a little bit closer to the ground, and I may adjust that. So I could actually lower it slightly from my top line. But it looks good. I do see a couple of upgrades from the other tents. One of them is this new type of clip to roll up the chimney. So it's like a toggle. It's hard to do with one hand. Also comes with the stove jack. I didn't even think to bring another one, so I'm glad they included those. It was kind of silly they didn't previously. But also the distance from the cover down to the stovepipe. On other tents they have them very, very close, which always kind of worried me. So I'm glad to see they've done that. Also on the door roll-ups, they've used the same clips. Again, this is much better than the toggle type. It does have 2 vents on each end, one on each end. And I thought this was a mistake. They've kind of looped these, but it kind of makes sense now. So wherever your straps come through, these 2 zips are kept either side like that. And there's a little cover up here. I don't know if there's another zip up there or not. Nope. That's just a weather cover. They have these little tie outs, but I've just looped it onto the grommet like that. So I've got the doors pinned back. Oh, on this side, just tied it out like that with those trees. If I get any winds coming across from this side, it's going to keep it stable. Again, it's too far off the ground. I'm going to probably have to change that. Then going in the tent. Lots of room. I can stand up. Spin you around. So, lots of room. And this is where the stove is going to go, right about here. It's the other vent. So, yeah, lots of room. I think you could probably get a cot down this side, or you could actually get 2 cots and use this as a traditional tent. I know you can actually raise up one of these wings. I know you can raise up one of these wings as well and make it into an awning. I'm going to have to fix that at the side. Now it's pulled out. So those clips. But that looks pretty good. So I did bring Esme's bed along. This is the Yep-Ho. Different name. In case she doesn't want to sleep in the hammock with me. And I was expecting the ground to be pretty wet. And she's got a OneTigris dog bed as well. Already, Esme. Come on, try your bed. Up, up. Up, up. Up, up. Good girl. It's your own little bed. Your own little bed. You have so much mud on you. You're gonna sleep here with your muddy feet. Okay. So I think we'll call that good. Next, we're going to do the stove. Okay, this is the Danchel fast fold stove. You've seen it on my videos before. I love my other titanium stove, but this one is so much more convenient. Okay, I think that's good. It's nice and tight. Not going anywhere. I'm trying to keep the back end of the stove a little higher than the front. I think that looks good. Yeah, happy with that. I think we are all set up actually. Took a while. Stove was probably the fastest part. Looking forward to trying out the new tent. It's always exciting. Try out a new piece of equipment. But I think this is probably a 3-season setup, I would say. I'm not sure yet if I would take this in snow. I could add the snow skirts later on, maybe, and I may make that suggestion to OneTigris so that future models have that bottom part as well. So if you're wondering what I spend my Amazon revenue on, if you buy from my Amazon links or you use the link and you shop anyway, I still get the credit for it. This is it. So I bought this from the US store and had it shipped out. So this is where your assistance and help with viewing the channel and using my Amazon links goes. That is very odd. I've never seen anything like that. Just kind of morphed into it. So we're going to give the Freyr a quick test with these small logs. They are pretty wet, I can feel, but we'll see whether it's a splitter or not. It's not really shaped like a splitter, it's more like a cutting axe, but we'll see. The reason I went for this as more of a backpacking type of axe is it's very light, which again doesn't lend itself to being much of a chopper, but we're only doing small stuff, and it also has a very large surface area to get through and not a lot of spread, so we'll see. It's big enough as well to use with 2 hands, so we'll see. It's a little high. Actually, that worked out okay. Well, that's surprising. This one is very wet. Wow. Okay. Not very good one-handed. I gotta say, I'm a bit surprised. Well, I never. Okay, the head's become a little bit loose. A lot of the time these axes dry out in the stores, so the heads they shrink over time. So it probably just needs, I can drive in these two round wedges, or I can just soak it in some oil, see if that'll bring it back up. But I did not expect that. It's too light to do that. That was right in a knot. Alright, well, it's got me a couple of hours worth of wood already, so can't complain about that. Come on, Ez. Where you been? God, let's go in the snow. Whoop. So even though it felt a little strange being in a hammock inside a tent with a hot stove, it was actually a very wonderful experience. I enjoyed it very much. I was afraid the hammock might swing into the chimney, but that really isn't possible. I don't see how you could do that. One of the negative points is you do have to get out of the hammock in order to put wood in the stove, but that's a minor consideration. So Esme slept in her dog bed all night, which was nice, so I had the whole of the hammock to myself for once. So that was nice to be able to keep her inside and close to the hammock without actually being in the hammock. So that's another plus side if you actually camp with pets, but you want to camp with a hammock. So what are my overall thoughts on the ROCDOMUS? I actually like the experience of camping in the hammock inside a tent, and it does really extend the hammock season, especially where I live in Canada. Or if you don't like that exposed feeling you get by just camping in a hammock, you want something close because you feel safer or you want more privacy, this might be a really good solution for you. So that's all we have time for today. So until next time, take care. And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, leave me a comment, maybe a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.